Oh, sighed Ermintrude, who was feeling very sorry for herself that day. "Hello," said Florence. "What are you moaning about, you great grumbling grass-cutter?" said Dougal, not very sensitively. "Yes, you're right, I am just a great grumbling grass-cutter," said Ermintrude. "Oh, that's a bit harsh," said Florence. "What?" said Dougal. "Are you feeling all right?" "No," said Ermintrude. "I'm useless." "Oh, come on, you're not that bad." "Yes, Dougal was only teasing," said Florence. "I've been thinking about it," said Ermintrude, "and I realised I've never really achieved anything at all. All I ever do is lollop about eating grass and looking lumpy." "Oh, come off it," said Dougal. "You're a cow. You're meant to eat grass, and cows are always lumpy. That's what they're there for." "Yes, but I never really tried anything else, did I? I'm just no good at anything." Dougal was lost for words. "Florence," he said. "Oh, come on, there's lots of things you could do," said Florence. "Like what?" said Ermintrude, hopelessly. "Well, you could be a nurse," said Dougal. "Yes," said Florence, "anything's possible." "Even for a silly old cow like me?" said Ermintrude. "You could help me look after the flowers," said Mr. McHenry. "No, I'd probably end up watering them too much and they'd all fall off," said Ermintrude, who really was down in the dumps. "Well, what about being a fashion model?" said Dougal. "Maybe. What do you think?" Ermintrude asked. "I think it's a marvellous idea," said Brian. "But I'd be too beefy for the catwalk," sighed Ermintrude. "You should be like a musician," said Dylan. "Oh, I'm much too butterfingered for that," said Ermintrude. "I don't think I can take much more of this," said Dougal. "You see, cows just don't have any confidence. If I'd had more confidence, I could have been a general in charge of all the armies. Or even a ballet dancer." "Now this I have to see," said Dougal. Oh, get off. "But as it is, I'm just a cow, and not a very good one at that." "Well, we like you as you are," said Florence. "Or I could have been a pirate," said Ermintrude. "A life on the ocean waves," said Mr. Rusty. "But then I probably would have been too heavy for that, and the ship would have sunk." "Oh, dear," said Dougal. "So anyway, then I thought, what would really cheer me up?" "Yes," said Florence. "And I thought, what I'd really like is a new hat." "Why not?" said Florence, "if it makes you happy." "Oh, so that's what all this is about," said Dougal. "Shh," said Florence. "What do you think, dear hearts?" asked Ermintrude. "I feel like a princess in this," said Ermintrude. "Well, it's very theatrical," said Dougal and Florence. "Oh, good, I'm glad you like it, because this is my Blue Monday hat, and I've got one just like it in red for Tuesday, and a green one for Wednesday, and my Thursday one is in..." "Are dreams important?" Florence asked Mr. Rusty one day. "Well, I don't know," said Mr. Rusty. "On the one hand, some people think that dreams predict the future, and on the other hand, some people think they mean doodly squat." "Oh," said Florence. "It all depends," said Zebedee, "on how you interpret them. You have to get someone to explain what they mean. Yes, said Florence. Well, said Zebedee, if you've had some really interesting ones, you want to make sure you get the right person for the job, don't you? I suppose so, said Florence. I think I'm out of my depth here, said Mr. Rusty, and he walked off to oil the roundabout. Tell me more, said Florence. Shall we go, said Zebedee. Hello, Ermintrude, said Florence. Are you the right person for the job? Hello, dear heart, said Ermintrude. So glad you could make it. Now just relax and tell me the first thing that comes into your head, however trivial it may seem to you, and I'm sure I'll be able to throw some light on the subject. Do you like my spectacles? I think they make me look very professional. Oh, yes, said Florence. Very intellectual. Thank you, dear heart, said Ermintrude. Don't mention it, said Florence. Hey, hello, man. I just had this far-out dream, right, which has, completely blown my mind. Oh, really? Said Florence. Yeah, it was too much. I dreamt that, the 60s were over, man. I mean, finished. You know? Gone. And then, the 70s came, and the 80s came. I mean, 1984, right? You know what I'm talking about? I mean, heavy. And I dreamt that I slept through the whole thing, right into the 90s. Go on, said Florence. Well, then I, woke up, and I realized it was just a dream. Very interesting, said Florence. I wonder what it means. Yeah, but, the freakiest thing of all is that, since I had the dream, I haven't felt like going back to sleep. I have this strange sensation of feeling like doing something. Weird, eh? Well, it is unusual, Florence agreed. So, on the one hand, your dream could have been really important and meant something if only we could work out what. And on the other hand, it could have been doodly squat. Hello, said Dougal. I have a recurring dream about chocolate eclairs. Does that mean anything? Probably just that you're greedy, said Florence. Hello, everyone, said Brian cheerfully. Said Dougal. Hang on to your dreams, that's what I've always said, said Brian. Yes, said Florence, it's nice to have something to look forward to. I've always wanted to be an astronaut ever since I was a teeny little toddler. That's not a dream, said Dougal, that's a delusion. Oh, I know I'll probably never actually do it, said Brian, but I like having the dream anyway. Oh, now that's interesting, said Florence. Why? Because he's a minuscule mollusk, that's why, said Dougal. A gastropod, a very sad snail. I've drawn the plans for my rocket, said Brian, ignoring him. Oh, F-A-B, said Dougal. Thunder slugs are go. And that's your dream, is it? Asked Florence.
Yes, that's my dream and I'm sticking to it. Because there's a silver lining in the sky, and if at first you don't succeed, you've got to try and try. People may laugh at it, dogs may ignore it, but my dream is to be the first snail in space. Or should that be orbit?
Hello, Dougal, said Florence. What are you doing up? Well, said Dougal, I thought you'd have been in bed ages ago. Yes, but I can't sleep, see? I've got insomnia. Oh, said Florence. Yes, it's a terrible thing. I keep tossing and turning and turning and tossing. Well, said Florence, have you tried having a nice cup of herb tea? I've tried everything, said Dougal. I can't sleep. Oh, well, said Florence, it's a lovely night. Yes, but I'm afraid of the dark. The moment they switch it on, I get all panicky, and I can't get to sleep. I came out to see if I could see any shooting stars, said Florence. Oh, said Dougal. Seen any yet? No, said Florence. Oh, said Dougal. No, I can't see any either. Do they usually come around this way? I don't know, said Florence, but I thought it was worth having a look. I suppose it might pass the hours till morning, said Dougal. Have you tried counting sheep? Asked Florence. Counting sheep, said Dougal. What good would that do? I want to go to bed, not to a farm. Anyway, I might not be able to see them in the dark, and then I might bump into one of them. And then they'd all wake up and start singing Bar Bar Black Sheep, and then I'd never get to sleep, would I? That's not quite what I meant, said Florence. And anyway, sums have always made me jumpy, said Dougal. You're meant to count pretend sheep in your mind, said Florence, until you drop off. Sounds too much like hard work to me, said Dougal. Come on, said Florence, let's try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Hang on a minute, said Dougal. Did you see that? One of my sheep had a pair of dark glasses on. They're just trying to trick me. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11... Well, it's not really working, is it? Said Florence. Hey, like, hello, said Dylan. Fancy meeting you two on this night of 1,000 stars. Oh, this is all I need, said Dougal. At least there's only one rabbit. I've got insomnia, which, in case you didn't know, means I can't sleep. Why sleep on a night like this when you can sleep during the day? Let's mellow out, said Dylan.
Oh, hello. Did you see me just now? How did you like my performance? I don't think my mascara ran, and the glitter worked quite well. What did you think?
Madam, I am ashamed to admit, said Dougal, that we were so busy counting furry animals that we missed your performance. Yes, sorry, said Florence.
Oh dear. It was my first time too. That was my debut.
How embarrassing, said Florence.
Oh, yes, it is a bit. I feel all shy now. I mean, I've done the Orion before and the Plough loads of times, but I've never been a shooting star before. So this was like my first time, see?
Well, all I can say is that the next time I have difficulty going to sleep, I will definitely keep an eye out for you, said Dougal gallantly. Yes, said Florence, I'm sure you look lovely. Hey, said Dylan, the night is young and you're so beautiful. Would you care to dance?
Oh, he's a bit cheeky, your friend, isn't he? I'd love to stay and have a bit of a chin wag, but I've got to go. I'm washing my points tonight. Ta-ra!
What an absolutely charming girl, said Dougal. Didn't you think? Yes, said Florence. Bye. Charming, said Dougal. It's black coffee for me from now on. Good morning, Mr. Rusty, said Florence. How are you this morning? Is it morning? Said Mr. Rusty, who was in one of those moods. Well, yes, of course it is, said Florence. How do you know? Said Mr. Rusty. How can you actually tell? Well, there's no need to make an issue of it, said Florence. It's morning because I've just had my breakfast, said Zebedee, arriving. Shall we start the day? Rightio, said Florence. Let's get on with it. Good day, Lady Florence, said Dougal. I hope you've polished your shoes properly. Oh, goodness, why does everyone have to be so fussy today, said Florence. I'm not being fussy. It's just that there are certain standards, you know. A clean and tidy appearance is the sign of a clean and tidy mind, said Dougal, annoyingly. And a certain protocol has to be observed. Isn't that right, Your Majesties? There you are, you see. What are they? They are the crown jewels, said Dougal, and I am the crown jewel keeper. Now get back on your pedestals, all of you. Oh, charming, quite charming.
charming.
They're not behaving very well, are they? Said Florence.
Well, they have a very tiring life, said Dougal, attending all those functions, travelling all over the world, glittering all the time. It must be murder. I wouldn't do their job, not in a million years, said Dougal. Well, they look like any other jewels to me, said Florence. What on earth are you talking about, said Dougal. These jewels are by royal appointment.
Oh, and so are you, I suppose, said Florence.
Well, I like to think I have a certain standing, yes, a certain cachet, a certain rank, said Dougal. And as such I deserve to be rewarded.
Oh, nice, said Florence.
Oh, I know who'd like that, she said, picking out an orange pearl. Yes, said Dougal, modestly. Someone in my position has to accept the trappings that go with the job, the regal residence, the regalia, so to speak. Well, actually, that's not quite what I had in mind. Could you take these off me? I don't think they quite suit someone of my caliber, my nobility.
Certainly, said Florence, obligingly.
Oh, no, keep away, don't you dare. Actually, I was thinking more along the lines of a sash or a medal, said Dougal. Florence, before you go, said Dougal, would you oblige? These earrings seem to be rather attracted to me. Now, get off. Hello, Dougal, said Brian. You look really stupid. You're just jealous, said Dougal, because you haven't been awarded the Order of the Earring.
Here we are, said Florence. I've got a present for you.
Oh, thank you, Ma'am, said the oyster. Have you found the secret of the universe? Said Zebedee, arriving. I know I left it here somewhere. Never mind about that, said Dougal. Do you have an appointment? And a proper printed invitation card?
I suppose you have to laugh, really, said Florence, and did.
Well, said Mr. McHenry one day, though I say so myself, the garden's looking very neat and tidy.
Yes, said Florence, I think you look after it very well.
Well, I don't do it all by myself, you know. I have help from all the very latest garden machinery.
Oh, that must make life easier for you.
Oh, yes, I can do it all at the flick of a switch now. It's amazing what they can do nowadays, said Dougal.
Yes, I suppose it's all for the best, said Florence.
We could do with some pest control, though, said Dougal. Hello, said Brian. Have you seen it? Seen what? Said Dougal. The spaceship, said Brian.
Spaceship, said Florence.
Yes, it's sort of long and green and sort of cigar-shaped, and it glows with a strange light, and it makes a sort of whooshing noise. No, it's pink, and it makes a whirry-buzzy sound, said Ermintrude. Oh, dear, said Dougal. UFOs, whatever next? Probably just a speck of dust in the corner of your eye. And it's more sort of milk bottle-y shaped, said Ermintrude. Well, a sort of cigar-y shaped milk bottle, said Brian.
Hey, man, said Dylan. Like the aliens are arriving, right, so, stay cool.
Huh? Oh, here it comes. Don't panic, said Dougal. Hide! And they all hid. Looks more like a flying cup and saucer to me, said Dougal.
said Brian. Well, it was sort of pinkish, though, said Ermintrude. We're being invaded by tea-sets from outer space, said Dougal. And it definitely whirred and buzzed, said Ermintrude. It didn't whoosh at all. It was a genuine real spaceship, all right, said Brian. Do you think we should try and make contact? Asked Ermintrude. Yeah, like afternoon tea of the third kind, said Dylan. Maybe it was trying to make a corn circle in our garden, said Ermintrude. Hello, said Mr. McHenry. Has anyone seen my new flyfo? What? Said Florence. It's the very latest in garden equipment. It plants seeds in half the time. There you are, you see, said Dougal. A perfectly logical explanation. Oh, I don't know how I ever managed without it, said Mr. McHenry. It was an unidentified flying lawnmower, said Dougal. Hey, I had an extraterrestrial experience once, said Dylan. Oh, really? Said Mr. McHenry. Yeah, like these alien rodents, right, took me back to their planet, and then they, kept me there for 3,000 years. And then they brought me home, and only 3 seconds of our time had passed by. And, I feel like I've had jet lag ever since. Well, that's one excuse, said Florence. It just goes to show, said Dougal, you can always rely on a solid bit of British engineering.
Mission complete, Captain. Good. Now, back to planet Bazog.